What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson and welcome back to another episode of BurnDown, and this is the Road to Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0 2021. So this is the last weekend before we leave to go to wherever we're going. I think it's Kearney, Nebraska. There's a few different states. I get mixed up. That's what the little robot on my phone tells me where to go. Anyways, as you can see, the car is jacked up behind me. We were working on it a bit last night. I'll show you guys what we were doing. We'll recap. But I'm putting it's a fan controller for the transmission fan. So I have a little cooler underneath the car. The little fan runs full time. And I wanted a temperature sender so I knew when I was basically cooking my transmission. And since I put that in, I was like, well, I got a fan trans controller, so I might as well integrate that. So we were messing with the wiring that yesterday, like evening last night. I didn't really film it, and I thought I would be done, but no, here we are. So it's a little early. We'll finish that up before we start making some noise. And then, as you can see, the major project I have is this guy. It still doesn't have a chassis. So the chassis is in the bed of my truck. And the reason is in the bed of the truck is I had to register it. It was out of the system, so I went down to AAA. It was actually fairly cheap, so I got a new permanent plate. Unfortunately, the blue plate isn't going to work now. I have a new plate because it was way cheaper to just do it that way. So we got that all done. So we have to work on the trailer today mainly. And then I got these dudes. I don't know if I showed you guys or not yet, but we got some green fuel jugs. So I needed these because this is the size of the footprint, and we have to fit 2 of those on the trailers, like on the tongue somehow. So today's efforts are going to be making a rack for those, and then if we get past that, I need a rack for some tires. So I think I'm going to bring the tires that the car's on now as spares and probably just drive on them. I think they're decent for that. I don't know, they're old, but they got some tread. So anyway, we'll use those, I think, as drive tires. And then I've got another set of wheels which we need to actually drop off and get rubber mounted on, but we'll use those for mock-up and fit and all that stuff. So let's get cracking. I'll show you some of the wiring that we're working on, explain that real quick, and then we'll button it up. So yeah, I was out here making a mess. See, so here we've got, let me roll this window down. Okay, so this is a fan controller. It's from Flexolite, and basically it's like a solid state relay, and then you can feed your override. So this is my override from my panel, and this is the signal from the sensor that's on the transmission, and I split that signal, and this is also going to the dash. There's a little screw in there, and you turn it, and then that designates the temperature that this kicks on and off at. So yeah, and then the other thing, there's one right in the middle. I got to do a keyed 12 volt. So we're gonna run that wire. We can test this out, make sure it turns off and on. Make sure, you know, with the override will work, and then we can kind of set the thing. I don't know if I really want to run the car very much right now. And then underneath here, this is my IO harness for the dash. So I actually plumbed in. So this is the 2 for that, and then this is my fuel gauge. These are like super pinner wires, but yeah, I thought about actually plumbing this into there, but man, getting these little pins to grab this wire is something else. So that's it. I'll get started. I'll show you guys if this works. We'll button it up, and then we'll get on trailer things. Okay, took a little longer than I thought, but that's car building. Oh, I was like, man, it didn't work. So the override is on. We'll button all this up and wire it down. There's zip tight. I don't know if I was blowing some cool air. So I do have a standoff, if anybody was wondering. It's not pressed up against that. So yeah, just pumping out air. All right, cool. Now we'll see if the gauge works, and then get on a trailer thing. Okay, so we have the trans temp there, and then that is it. So it looks like it's working. It says 28 degrees. Coolant says 67, so it looks like my trans is a little cooler, but maybe we'll fire it up and we'll warm it up. But I think before then, this is a Holley coolant temperature sensor is what I told it was. So maybe we'll just try like a generic coolant temperature sensor and we'll go from there. So I don't know, if the other one says 67, I don't know why that one says 28, because they should be the same sensor, but yeah, because that's a ways off. So let me play with it and we'll go from there. All right, we're on this little dude now. I've got that thing pretty well sorted out, buttoned up, so we're good to go on that. Oh, I did have to, I just used the generic Holley gauge, and then I upped it X amount of degrees, and I just used a temperature gun on the line and then on the pan to get a reading for the coolant. So it's in the ballpark, but as long as it turns off and on and does what it's supposed to, we're good. So let's focus on the task at hand. Let's put these bad boys on here somewhere, and I'll have to go scrounge and see what kind of metal and stuff I got over there. And then I think the other thing, the big ordeal, is to have this all the way open, so that way I can open it and close it so I don't hit the cans. I'll use my little prop stick, but I'd like to replace these if I could, but the budget is wearing thin, so we might take the prop stick. But I think I'll splurge on those because it'll be nice to have stuff out of the way and for it to hold itself open. So maybe we'll head to the auto parts store later this evening. So let me prop this up, kind of get an eyeball feel for where these are going to go, and then a plan of attack, because I'm just running with whatever steel I got laying around. I got a little bit of plate over there, I got some sheet steel, I had plenty of sheet steel in the back. So let's mess with it and I'll show you guys what we come up with. What are the odds that this little ugly rack that I took off of here is pretty well good for what we're doing? I'm pretty excited about that. I don't think we're gonna reinvent the wheel. I think maybe what I'll do, the only problem I have is it's aluminum, so I can't weld to it. But you know what, dude, it, like I said, it fits. Maybe, I don't know, these are for what it was for. I think it was like an ice chest cooler or something, but man, the only thing I see issue wise is like the span. So maybe we'll just get a piece of like sheet steel, and then I can just rivet it over the top, so there's a big flat area so it supports the whole bottom on these, instead of just barely on the edges, because it's a little wider than I'd like it. But you know what, this thing is already built. It was already actually on here, and they had it sitting right here. I can just scoot that juice back, and that freaking takes care of that. So look at that. Wow. And then I can probably loosen these and then turn them up so it holds it a bit tighter. Has a little edge on it side to side, but ultimately it's got these little hook deals. We can just run a strap around them. So heck, I feel good about that. We'll just check that off the list. Let me modify this real quick. We'll bring it back and show you what it looks like, but I'm excited. That just saved me a ton of time. Ta-da! All right, so we upgraded the hardware, drilled the holes out so it's a little more robust, 5/16. We moved this up, and then that gave me, you know, a few inches on the side of the container, so in case you hit bumps, it doesn't bounce out, because before it was way down here at the bottom. So if you hit a good enough bump, it could technically bounce out. So we don't want to lose any fuel. So I feel good about that. And then the only thing is, it's a little distance on the container from front to back. And I think even if you turn it both ways, it's kind of the same footprint. So we'll just have to make sure that we put it in there. And then I've got the handles, so I figure if we ran it both, something like that, side to side, we could run a strap through, tighten it down. You know, just pull it from here to there and call it good. I don't think it'd go nowhere. So that is rad. I guess on to the tire rack deal. So I've got some tubing and stuff back there. So yeah, let me look at that. We'll kind of get a plan together, figure out what I've got. And then I was thinking to have the tires out here, outside of this clamshell. So yeah, that'll be a trick. I wish this top was a little more robust. But then again, if I wanted to get in and out of here, we'd have to take the tires off. And the other thing with the tires too is if they're way out here, that's kind of like in my workspace trying to get in here, so I'd have a whole tire right here. But let me think about it a little bit. We'll bring you guys back on whatever idea, but I'm excited we got fuel, so we're getting closer. I had some tubing, and it's funny because this is the longest one I had, and it happened to be pretty much what we need. And then I was looking at it, and I had it placed up here, and I was like, man, if I roll it off that support, I mean, this thing's building itself, man, because I got an attachment point here. and then this thing kind of steadies and holds it. Obviously this is just fiberglass, but I can come off of here, you know, with braces from there to there on either side, so we can get an attachment point here, there. This thing kind of obviously steadies it. And then I got some more tubing, and then I got some, I believe this is chromoly. So, I don't know. This is, whatever it is, we can use it for support if need be. But this stuff's pretty strong, so I'm almost thinking we just do one of these, right? Find out how far off we need to go, weld this guy to the top of this guy, and then figure out how to steady that thing, maybe give it a little support. But I'll keep thinking about it and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think we're doing decent. So something along these lines. And then the tire's 26, you know, so we got to get up off the ground more from there. But 13 inches this way, it only puts the tire about here, so I could still get in and work with the tire mounted up if need be, so the tire's not so far back. So it gives me some tongue weight here, a bit more here, and then hopefully most of the weight will kind of be over the axle. But we want to give it tongue weight so the thing doesn't sway like a fish when we're going down the road. So, all right, I'll keep you posted when I have a better idea, I think. Okay, we got the little standoff made, and then if you're wondering why you would do that, it's because the rim has depth to it, so that it's got to slide over. And then obviously the tire can't go past this bar, so the tire has to be on this side of this bar. So now we'll make a piece that I can mount on here, a piece of plate, you know, just one piece with 2 holes in the lug pattern for a wheel. So I'll have to get a piece of plate, cut a few strips, and then punch holes in it. And I don't know if I have hardware. I don't think I have studs. I might have to go to the auto parts store and get the actual stud, but we can at least get hardware, maybe that size. Maybe I got something in the drawer. Anyway, so we'll make the holes. I'd like to get it kind of mocked up, but yeah, we'll probably have to throw like a real stud, or at least, you know, a compatible size. And then this is a conical seat, so I don't want to mess those up, so I want to run actual lug nuts to hold the wheels in place. So let me keep rolling, and I'll show you guys what we come up with for a little plate piece. And then once we kind of get it situated, I want to put a tire on and then brace stuff up. I don't want to run a bunch of crap and then get in anything, so I want to have the tire on there and then figure out the best points to brace it. And I got some little rod, that little guy I think we're just going to use to brace stuff, hopefully, and then we'll dig around the pile. Maybe we got something else. I ended up cutting this whole tube up. I was hoping to use that for bracing, so we'll see how we go.
Ice cream.
What do you got, bud?
Ice cream.
What is this?
Ice cream.
Dirt ice cream. Dirt ice cream, my favorite. Bam, there it is. So we don't have it braced up, it's just tacked, but we got enough distance off of here to account hopefully for some tire. We got enough distance down to put a larger tire than a 26. I think I have a 27, so it'll be either a 27 or 26. The future, we'd like to go bigger, so we got a little room to grow. And got the little jugs here. The cool part about it as well is distance from the outside of there to the outside of here is under 6 feet. The car is roughly like 6 feet essentially, so technically towing that behind this, I'm not gonna have big old tires, nothing sticking out. And then they'll be a little taller than what the trailer is, which is kind of neat, so I still have line of sight, but then I can kind of gauge where the trailer is by these dudes. Hopefully it's behind me. I mean, that's kind of the point, right? So yeah, I am excited. So that's pretty much what she needs to carry. We're gonna run some bracing off here. I don't need to show you guys that. We're gonna try to get it braced up, maybe do an angle brace here, and then take one from here, I believe, down to this mount here. So we'll come out like that and just kind of triangulate a little bit. Granted, at that angle, I don't know how much it's helping. I guess it'll help to steady it a little bit. So I figure if I get this one and at least one over here, I'll feel good about it. And we'll just take this up as high as we can. So that is pretty much that. I don't think, yeah, I don't really have a shot to go anywhere with this guy. So we'll just do that, and then we'll keep our fingers crossed. So that is that. we got this thing pretty well done in a day for the most part. So the fuel can thing really saved me, man. I might too. My wife actually had to get a deal. She said, are you sure you don't want to put something on the bottom like a grate or whatever? So underneath the fuel cans, I think I might just cut a piece of sheet steel and then just rivet a whole plate all the way across, just to keep stuff from, you know, if something comes up from underneath, some road debris or whatever. Granted, these things are strong as I'll get at. I doubt I'll have an issue, so we'll see. But I thought that was a pretty good idea on her part. So that is it. We were getting close. This was kind of worrying me a little bit, especially because I didn't have any material or anything. But you know what? Anything builds itself. We're good. We're gravy. That means the hot rod gods want me to go to Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0. I'm excited. So we'll bring you guys back for some of the finishing touches stuff that I got to do. I got a bunch of like little stuff, and then I got to wire this up to the car. So I got to double check the wires in here. I got a little light that goes for the license plate my buddy Joe hooked me up with. He took it off his truck, a little LED one, so that'll go back here. Got a handle, so it's like little stuff that I just need to zip through. I don't really want to make a video, but I did want to show you guys how we're going to tackle this, and we'll bring you back a little bit. But I gotta get ready. This is pretty much it. We leave next week, so I'm gonna be short on videos next week as well, because we got to get ready every day from the road, bring you guys along. We're just hoping to have a wonderful time shooting for flat 10s at every track, because I'm not certified and I don't have a license, so I want to get as close to a flat 10 as we can. And mostly I want to finish the event. So I want to drive the car on the last pass. I don't care how fast it goes. I just want to go from start, drive down the track, and finish. And that really is the goal this year. So thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for coming along. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm out.